Ways to play pocket pairs. Super premium pairs. Pocket kings. A major concern that many players have with pocket kings is someone having an ace and calling. This begs the question, is this a significant issue? As shown in the Power and Problems with Aces lesson, there's an 80% probability another player has an ace at a 9-player table when you don't have one. Thus, it's a good assumption that at least one other player has been dealt an ace when you have pocket kings. Some players will throw away an ace with a middle or low second card to a strong bet, although a significant number of players will not.
Let's look at the probability of an ace hitting the flop when you have pocket kings and an ace has been dealt to another player at a 9-player table. With 34, 52 minus 18 cards remaining in the deck, there are 3 cards that can hurt you. 34 minus 3 equals 31. 31 divided by 34 cards can't hurt you on the first card that hits the flop. Subtract 1 from the numerator and denominator for each subsequent card. Multiply the percentages together. Subtract that number from 1, which is 100%, to get the probability of an ace hitting the flop. 1 minus 31 divided by 34 times 30 divided by 33 times 29 divided by 32 equals 25%. That means that an ace will show up 1 out of 4 times when you have pocket kings when another player has been dealt an ace. This is a relatively low probability. Note, if there isn't an ace dealt to another player, then there are 4 scare cards that can hit the flop. The equation is now 1 minus 30 divided by 34 times 29 divided by 33 times 28 divided by 32 equals 32%. Thus, there is a 25 to 32% probability of an ace scare card hitting the flop when you have pocket kings. Players fear an ace hitting the flop when they have pocket kings. Consequently, many players overbet the kings by 5 to 6 times the big blind or more before the flop. Some players even go all in. Much of the time, these players only take down the blinds. There is a common thread when players are significantly worried about an ace hitting the flop. It is all about selective memory. I call it the Great White Shark Effect. The Great White Shark Effect. Years ago, I went to Hansby, South Africa to see the great white sharks. On our first day out in our boat, we saw a great white. She was about 17 feet long and made a heck of an impression. This magnificent creature swam next to our boat, bumped it, and swished her huge tail. The boat moved about a foot, and we were all soaked from the waist down. It was spectacular. I am a diver and have seen many sharks, yet seeing the great white shark is seared into my memory permanently because of its massive size and power. All my other shark encounters are dwarfed by my mind in comparison. I have heard other divers' stories of great white sightings. These stories all have one thing in common. Seeing one of these enormous creatures implants an unshakable memory. Note, I took the picture of the great white shark fin that's shown here and is also on the cover of my book, Mastering Poker Math, when I was in Hansby, South Africa.
Now back to cards. Even though an ace only comes out an average of 25% of the time on the flop, when another player has an ace, players vividly remember their pocket kings losing when another player had an ace. They also remember folding their pocket kings to a big raise when an ace hit the flop or the turn or river, and thought they were beat. This is painful for most players, especially when they lose a lot of chips. Selective memory recalls intense encounters much more than the 3 out of 4 times that an ace didn't hit the flop. In other words, their memory of the incident is magnified significantly. For many players, it creates a small mental scar. We all play thousands, some of us play tens of thousands of hands per year. Pocket kings will lose to aces time and again for all of us. For players who don't understand the math, their mental scar grows significantly. They develop a fear of the event happening again and try to compensate by overbetting them. Their logic is faulty. Consequently, they play this super premium hand badly. Note: players also remember their kings losing to sets, straights, flushes, and more. Yet losing against aces seems to cause the most angst. Despite the memories, the math is undeniable. An ace coming out on the flop, or turn, or river doesn't happen that often when you have pocket kings. Sizing your bet to get one or two callers gives you options, even if an ace comes out. Learning to trust the numbers is key. If an ace comes out on the flop, put on your thinking cap. If you're in early position, a common option is to check and see what your opponent does. If the other player bets, does the size of the bet tell you anything? A big bet probably means he has an ace with a good or great kicker. A small bet may indicate an ace with a small kicker, or it could be a probe bet if he has hit a lower flop card. Depending on the bet size and your read of the other player, you can fold, call, or raise. If the other player checks, it usually indicates no ace, or an ace with a small or medium kicker, or a lower pair on the flop. Another possibility is he may have gotten an ace with a high kicker and is slow playing. He might also have a set or two pair and is slow playing. If you consider betting on the turn, it may be a coin flip if you're ahead or not. If you decide to check again on the turn and he doesn't bet, he probably doesn't have an ace. Think about betting on the river for value on a dry board if you think your pocket kings are the best hand at that point. As always, your stack size, position, situation, board texture, read on the other player or players, and more should help govern your action. If you're in late position and the other player checks when an ace hits the flop, try and get a read on your opponent and make the best decision whether to bet or check. Selective memory is alive and well. Selective memory isn't restricted to pocket kings. Whenever a donkey sucks out with a 2 or 4 outer on the river or some other low probability event, many players believe it is bad luck. A high percentage of players complain repeatedly about their consistent bad luck. It isn't consistent bad luck, just their selective memory kicking in. These same players who complain about the bad luck don't recall all the times they hit a low probability event card to win a hand. This gets back to the fact that many players don't know the math, aren't good players, or both. Self-delusion is alive and well and prospering in Texas No Limit Hold'em. Note, over time, players don't have good or bad luck. It all normalizes out. There may be exceptions, yet they are rare. It is wise to assume you're not the exception. If you are, then playing poker may not be your game. In summary, we all get the same cards dealt to us over time. How we play them and how we perceive them define our experiences.